There are moments in life when the ordinary falls away and something deeper steps in. Maybe you've felt it already. A shiver in your body, a strange coincidence, or that gentle whisper inside that says, "This moment is not random." If you are here, watching these words unfold, it isn't by accident. You've tapped into a doorway that few even know exists, a doorway into what many call quantum consciousness. And once opened, it cannot be closed. From this point on, everything about your life, your choices, your thoughts, will begin to feel different. Why you're here now. Have you ever wondered why certain videos, books, or people cross your path at the exact right time? It's as if reality itself bends to place them before you. This is not coincidence. It's resonance. Something in your frequency called this moment into being. Quantum consciousness begins with recognizing that life isn't random. You are not here by scrolling chance. You are here because a part of you, a higher layer of awareness, is waking up and pulling you into alignment with truths you're finally ready to hear. The moment of unlocking doesn't always feel grand. Sometimes it feels quiet, like the hush before dawn. Other times it arrives as chaos, like everything breaking apart at once. Both are signals of the same thing. The old ways of seeing life no longer fit you. Your consciousness is pressing against the edges of its old container. And like water, it will always spill beyond the boundaries that try to hold it back. This pressure, this feeling of something more, is what brought you right here. Think of it this way. Your life until now has been written in one script. You've played your role, followed the cues, learned the lessons. But at some point, the script no longer satisfies you. The lines feel empty. You start to improvise. You start asking deeper questions. And that's when the universe delivers a new script. Not a finished one, but blank pages, waiting for you to write with awareness instead of sleep. That blank page is the first gift of unlocking quantum consciousness. But here's the tricky part. Most people resist the blank page. They fear the uncertainty of it. They cling to their old script even when it suffocates them. Yet you chose differently. You followed the tug. You said yes to a greater unfolding. That's why this moment feels electric, even if quiet. That's why your heart beats differently as you hear these words. You are not at the end of a path. You are at the beginning of a much larger map that was always hidden inside you. And the beauty of it is this. Now that you've stepped through the doorway, you can't unsee it. You may doubt it, you may question it, but you will never again fit fully into the old box. Quantum consciousness doesn't work that way. It expands you until the very thought of shrinking back feels impossible. And from here, everything, your relationships, your thoughts, even your dreams at night, will start to shift. And all of it begins because you arrived here right now, beyond ordinary awareness. When most people think of consciousness, they imagine thoughts, emotions, or awareness of the world around them. But that's just the surface. Quantum consciousness is not about thinking more. It's about seeing reality as a vast ocean of connections, where even the smallest choice ripples across the entire field. Imagine a spiderweb glistening with morning dew. Each thread, each vibration affects the whole structure. That's how your awareness works within the quantum field. You are not just in the universe. The universe is in you, responding to your awareness. Ordinary awareness says, I am a single person, separate from everything else. Quantum consciousness says, I am both the wave and the ocean. You start to feel the subtle ways your thoughts shape matter, your emotions bend timelines, your choices open and close invisible doors. It's a gentle but radical shift. And the strangest part? you begin to notice that the universe was always hinting at this truth. It was there in déjà vu, in synchronicities, in the way your heart knew things your mind couldn't explain. One of the first signs that you've crossed this threshold is sensitivity. You feel energy more strongly. You sense when someone is lying, even if their words sound right. You know when a room is heavy before anyone speaks. This sensitivity can feel overwhelming at first, like suddenly hearing every instrument in an orchestra after years of listening to only one. But if you learn to trust it, you realize it's not a curse. It's your new guidance system, and it will never fail you if you learn its language. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. The deeper you slip into quantum consciousness, the less you fear the unknown. Why? Because you begin to feel that you are not moving through chaos. You are moving through a carefully woven pattern. Even setbacks start to reveal meaning. Even heartbreak whispers wisdom. And as you notice this, a strange peace settles in you. You no longer need to control everything because you finally understand. You are never separate from the unfolding itself. So, beyond ordinary awareness is not a place you arrive at. It's a way of seeing. It doesn't make you better than anyone, but it does make you responsible. Because once you realize your very thoughts and emotions are weaving reality, you can't pretend they don't matter anymore. The universe mirrors you back to yourself, and that is the power and the weight of living in quantum consciousness. You are both student and creator at once. The hidden frequencies that shape your reality. What if I told you that everything you see, the trees, the buildings, even your own body, is not solid, but vibrating energy? Science already whispers this truth. Atoms are mostly empty space, dancing with frequencies. And consciousness is what tunes into those frequencies, shaping how you experience them. It's like tuning a radio station. The music was always there, but you couldn't hear it until you adjusted the dial. Quantum consciousness is realizing that your thoughts and emotions are the dial. Think of a day when everything went wrong. Spilled coffee, missed bus, bad conversation. Your frustration built and built, and the day seemed to spiral worse. Was that bad luck, or were you broadcasting a frequency that attracted more of the same? Now think of a day when you woke with gratitude, and everything flowed with ease. The same city, the same people, but a completely different reality. This is not just positive thinking, it's frequency alignment. And when you realize this, life stops being random and starts becoming a conversation. Hidden frequencies also explain why you feel drained around some people and uplifted by others. It's not their words, it's their vibration. Some are like static, others like symphonies. The same goes for places. Walk into a cathedral and you feel calm. Walk into a crowded, angry street and you feel tense. These sensations are not imagination. They are your body registering frequencies long before your mind interprets them. And the more you tune into this awareness, the more you can choose the frequencies you wish to live inside. But here's where it becomes astonishing. The more you raise your frequency through gratitude, presence, love, the more you notice that reality itself seems to shift around you. Opportunities appear out of nowhere. Conversations align perfectly. Even luck bends in your favor. To the untrained eye, it looks magical. To you, it's simply physics of the unseen. You've stopped fighting against static, and you've begun to play with the music of existence. So, the question becomes, which frequencies are you feeding each day? Anger, fear, or harmony, wonder, and compassion? Quantum consciousness doesn't judge your choice, but it does amplify it. The universe always says yes to the signal you send, and when you understand that, you no longer feel powerless. You realize You've been holding the tuning dial all along. Synchronicities. Proof you're inside the quantum field. Everyone has had it happen. You think of a friend, and they suddenly call. You dream of a place, and someone mentions it the next day. You see repeating numbers on the clock, again and again. These are not accidents. They are synchronicities, moments where the hidden threads of reality tug into visibility. They are whispers from the quantum field saying, "You are aligned, keep going." And the more you notice them, the more they multiply. It's like reality is eager to play once you start paying attention. Synchronicities are proof that consciousness and reality are not separate. They're not small magic tricks, they're evidence of resonance. When your inner state and outer world sync up, reality begins to mirror you. This is why many people on the path describe seeing numbers like 1111 or 222 again and again. It's not superstition, it's alignment. The pattern is showing itself to reassure you. Yes, you are connected. Yes, the web is responding. Yes, you are part of something much larger than yourself. But notice this. Synchronicities often appear at crossroads. They show up when you're about to make a choice, or when you've just shifted timelines. They are cosmic breadcrumbs guiding you through the forest of life. Ignore them, and you may still arrive. But notice them, and the path feels alive, glowing with reassurance. It's as if the universe is saying, "I see you, I'm walking with you." And that presence dissolves the loneliness that so often haunts the human heart. Some synchronicities feel small, almost playful. Others are life-changing. Meeting a stranger who changes your career. Stumbling on a book that answers your deepest question. Arriving late to something, only to realize it spared you from danger. The more you live in quantum consciousness, the more you realize these are not coincidences. They are conversations. The field is alive, listening, nudging, answering in ways the rational mind may never fully understand. So the next time a synchronicity arrives, pause, smile, whisper back, "I see you too." Because in that moment, you are not just a passive traveler, you are a co-creator dancing with the infinite. And that dance is the heart of quantum consciousness. Time is not linear, living in multiple realities. We've been taught to see time like a straight line. Past behind us, future ahead, present in the middle. But quantum consciousness shows us that time is not linear at all. It's more like a vast ocean, where every wave exists at once. And you can dive into any layer depending on your state of awareness. This is why déjà vu feels so strange, because somewhere, some version of you has already lived that moment. And when your frequencies align, you catch a glimpse of it, like memory bleeding across timelines. Think about dreams that later unfold in waking life, or sudden flashes of knowing that arrive before an event happens. These are not tricks of the brain. They are reminders that your consciousness is not bound to one rigid timeline. It stretches across many, sampling futures, remembering alternate pasts. And every choice you make is less about moving forward and more about sliding sideways into one of countless parallel branches of reality. This is not science fiction. It's the quiet truth your heart already feels. The fascinating part is this. You are constantly shifting timelines, even in the smallest moments. Choose kindness instead of anger, and you slip into a reality where the energy flows differently. Choose courage instead of fear, and you move into a timeline where doors open instead of closing. The choices may seem small, but the ripple is enormous. And sometimes, that's why life feels so surreal. Because the timeline you wake up in today is not quite the one you went to bed in last night. This realization changes how you see the past as well. Regret loses its grip because you sense that in some branch, another version of you chose differently. And hope becomes alive, because you realize the future isn't fixed. It's fluid. You are not doomed to a fate carved in stone. You are weaving it moment by moment. And the deeper you embody this truth, the lighter your steps become. Every moment becomes a doorway to infinite possibilities. So, when you sense the strange déjà vu, the repeating dreams, the slips in time, don't dismiss them. See them as reminders. You are not stuck in a rigid story. You are swimming in an endless ocean of timelines. And as you open more into this video, we'll explore just how powerful your role is within this infinite quantum dance. Your thoughts as vibrations, the silent architects of life. Most of us think of thoughts as private whispers in the mind, fading the moment they pass. But quantum consciousness reveals something startling. Every thought is a vibration, radiating into the field around you, shaping what returns. Imagine each thought as a tuning fork. You strike it, and reality hums in response. This is why a single negative loop can spiral your day downward, while one spark of gratitude can shift an entire week. The thoughts you entertain are not just inside you, they are architects, quietly sculpting the walls of your life. Have you ever noticed how a worry you carried seemed to manifest in real events? Or how a vision you held with love eventually took form, sometimes in ways you couldn't explain? That's not coincidence, that's resonance. Thoughts are not passive. They are currents of energy, subtle yet potent, carving grooves in the quantum field. And once carved, they pull reality toward them like rivers drawing water. You might not see it instantly, but the invisible work is happening every second. This is why ancient traditions spoke of the power of prayer, mantra, or focused intention. They were never just words. They were vibrational codes, repeating patterns that align the human mind with the larger cosmic field. Today, science calls it neuroplasticity or frequency resonance, but the principle is the same. Where your thoughts dwell, your reality bends. And when you finally see this, you stop treating your thoughts as harmless. You realize they are tools or weapons, and you are holding them every day. But here's the wonder. When you shift your inner dialogue, your outer world follows. Speak love to yourself, and your body heals. Imagine abundance, and opportunities open. Hold gratitude, and people mirror it back to you. The skeptics call it chance, but those who live inside quantum consciousness know better. They feel the rhythm between thought and reality, like a drum echoing across a canyon. And once you feel it, you can't go back to believing thoughts are just thoughts. They are the blueprint. So the real question is, what blueprints are you building? Are they houses of fear or temples of light? The quantum field doesn't care what you choose. It simply reflects it. And the moment you take responsibility for this, you step out of victimhood and into creation. That is the quiet, humbling power of knowing your thoughts are vibrations, silent architects of the life you walk into each morning. The observer effect. Why the universe responds to you. There's a mystery at the heart of physics, the observer effect. It says the very act of observing changes what is observed. Particles behave differently simply because they are being watched. Now pause on that. If the universe shifts just because you look at it, what does that say about you? It means you are not a passive witness to reality. You are a co-author. Your attention is not neutral. It bends the quantum fabric, deciding whether it collapses into one form or another. Think about how your focus shapes daily life. When you walk into a room expecting conflict, your body stiffens, Your eyes narrow, and sure enough, you find it. When you walk into the same room expecting warmth, your tone softens, your eyes brighten, and often you receive warmth in return. Did the room change, or did your observation collapse it into the version that matched your state? That's the observer effect. Not in a lab, but in your living room, your relationships, your choices every day. Most people don't realize they're constantly collapsing possibilities just by what they expect to see. They say, life is always hard, and life obliges. They say, I never catch a break, and the universe mirrors it back. But those who awaken to quantum consciousness flip the script. They choose to observe potential instead of limitation, and suddenly doors that were invisible appear. Not because the universe changed overnight, but because they stopped blinding themselves with the filter of expectation. Here's the secret. Your observation doesn't just affect your mood, it affects reality itself. This is why some call it manifestation, others call it faith. But at the core is one truth. Where you place your gaze, life responds. It doesn't mean everything happens instantly. It means you are no longer a bystander. You are engaged in a conversation with reality, and reality listens more closely than you've ever dared believe. So the next time you say, "This always happens to me," or "Nothing ever works out," ask yourself, what are you observing into existence? And the next time you whisper, "Something beautiful is unfolding," notice how the universe leans in to agree. This is the observer effect alive in your daily life. It's not abstract science. It's the most intimate mirror you'll ever meet. Parallel selves, meeting the you that already exists. Imagine for a moment that every choice you didn't make still exists somewhere. Every path you didn't take, every yes you turned into a no, all of them alive in alternate streams of reality. Quantum theory suggests this isn't fantasy, it's probability. Which means right now, there are countless versions of you, living countless lives, branching like roots beneath a vast tree. And sometimes, if you listen closely, you catch echoes of those other selves whispering through your intuition, your dreams, your déjà vu. Have you ever felt strangely certain about a choice, even without logic, or felt an unexplained pull toward a person or place? That could be your parallel self nudging you. In one reality, they already know the outcome of the choice you're about to make. And in that instant, their knowing bleeds into you, like light shining through cracks in the wall. That's why intuition often feels both irrational and undeniable. It's not imagination, it's resonance across selves. The beauty of this realization is that you stop feeling stuck, because no matter where you are, another version of you has already walked the path you dream of. Success, healing, love, it all exists in one branch or another. And through alignment, you can slide into their footsteps. This is why visualization, embodiment, and belief are so powerful. You're not creating something from nothing. You're tuning yourself into the self that already lives it. But here's the subtle part. Parallel selves are not just about brighter paths. They also hold the shadows. In some branches, you've made painful choices, and those versions carry the weight. Sometimes your fears are echoes of them, bleeding into your awareness, warning you gently. That doesn't mean you're doomed to repeat them. It means you are being gifted foresight, the wisdom of paths you don't have to walk. And that's a profound form of guidance, if you honor it. So the next time you sense you already know someone, or you dream a future that feels too real, don't dismiss it. Smile. Somewhere, one of your parallel selves just reached across the veil to say, "I'm with you." And when you understand this, loneliness softens, hope expands, and every step feels less like chance and more like a reunion across infinite selves. Dreams as portals. Quantum travel at night. We think of dreams as fragments of the subconscious, strange stories stitched together by the brain. But what if dreams are portals? What if every night your consciousness slips its tether and wanders through other timelines, other selves, other realms of possibility? That would explain why some dreams feel trivial, while others feel more real than waking life. Why some leave you shaken for days, while others feel like secret instructions whispered in the dark. In quantum consciousness, dreams are not random. They are travels. When your body sleeps, your awareness loosens and begins to explore. Sometimes it visits parallel versions of your life. Sometimes it enters archetypal realms where symbols speak louder than words. And sometimes it brushes against futures not yet chosen, giving you glimpses of what might be. The key is learning to listen, not with the mind, but with the deeper sense that knows when a dream is more than a dream. Have you ever woken from a dream with the answer to a problem, or felt comfort from meeting someone who has passed? These moments are not hallucinations, they are visitations. The dream space is fluid, unbound by linear time, unbound by physical law. That's why flying feels natural there, why speaking without words feels easy, why impossible reunions feel ordinary. In dreams, your soul stretches beyond the rigid box of waking consciousness and remembers its freedom. But dreams also train you. They teach you how to navigate realities with flexibility. Every time you face a challenge in a dream, you are rehearsing for waking life. Every time you face fear in the dream world, you're strengthening the part of you that moves through fear in daylight. So instead of dismissing dreams, treat them as teachers. Write them down, notice their patterns, ask them questions before you sleep. They are doorways waiting for you to walk through consciously. And perhaps most profoundly, dreams remind you that waking life is itself a kind of dream. Once you've felt the fluidity of dream space, the rigidness of reality softens. You realize both are made of the same fabric, consciousness shaping experience. And suddenly, every moment, whether in sleep or waking, becomes part of the same vast, quantum exploration. The collapse of probability, choosing the path forward. In the quantum field, every possibility exists at once, like countless doors in a hall. But here's the secret. Those doors don't stay open forever. The moment you make a choice, probability collapses. One door solidifies, and the others dissolve into shadows. This is the collapse of probability, and it means your choices carry far more weight than you were ever told. Every yes, every no, every hesitation, it all sculpts which timeline you step into and which vanish forever. Think of a moment in your life when one decision changed everything. The school you chose, the person you loved, the chance you took or didn't take. Those choices weren't just forks in the road. They were collapses of probability. Entire lifetimes dissolved in silence the moment you stepped one way instead of another. And while that may sound heavy, it's also empowering, because it means you are not drifting on fate. You are shaping destiny with every heartbeat. What's even more astonishing is how small choices ripple into massive outcomes. A single phone call, a single word, a single act of courage can redirect your path entirely. From the outside, it looks like chance. From within, it feels like alignment. And the deeper you live in quantum consciousness, the more you sense when a choice carries that electric charge of destiny. Your body tingles, your heart races. You feel the weight of infinite doors narrowing to one. But collapse doesn't mean loss. The doors that dissolve still exist in parallel streams, lived by other selves. That's why sometimes you feel nostalgia for paths you never walked, or grief for lives you didn't choose. It's not imagination. It's awareness brushing against probabilities that slipped away. Honoring that grief is part of the awakening. It reminds you just how precious each choice is, how sacred each collapse of possibility becomes. So as you step forward now, ask yourself, which door are you feeding with your focus? Fear or trust? Doubt or courage? The collapse of probability is happening whether you notice or not. But when you live with awareness, you stop stumbling into doors by accident. You begin choosing them. And that is where true power lies. Not in controlling the universe, but in consciously walking into the version of it your soul came here to experience.